Sri Guru Charitra, Chapter 35, Kanch Devyani. The young wife asked Sri Guru, "What is our future? How should I live hereafter? Please favor me with a mantra." Sri Guru said, "A wife should serve her husband devotedly. She needs no other advice on mantra. If a mantra is given to a woman, some calamity falls. This is evident from the tale of Kanch Devyani. In olden days, the gods and demons were often at war. Sukracharya, the guru of the demons, would recite Mrityunjaya mantra and the dead demons would be made alive. Therefore, it was rather difficult for the gods to win the war. Indra, the king of gods, went to Sri Shankar and told him this fact. Sri Shankar was very angry and he asked to call Shukra. Nandi, Sri Shiva's bull, went to Shukra, who was in meditation at the time. Nandi therefore held him in his mouth and brought him to Sri Shankar. Sri Shankar at once devoured him. After some days, Shukra came out of the body of Sri Shankar through his urine. He again started reciting Mrityunjaya mantra and brought the demons to life. Indra told Brihaspati, Guru of gods, about Amrit Sanjeevani mantra of Sukracharya and said, "The Guru of the demons makes them alive with the help of this mantra. You being the Guru of gods, why should you not protect the gods?" Brihaspati said, "If Sanjeevani mantra is heard by 6 years, it will lose its importance. So it would be better to send someone as a pupil to learn the mantra from Sukracharya. Let my son Kancha be sent to him. He will learn the mantra and return." Kancha took leave of the gods and came to Sukracharya. He bowed to him and stood before him. Sukracharya inquired who he was and why he had come to him. Kancha replied, "I am a Brahmin Kumar. Hearing your fame, I have come to learn at your feet." Sukracharya's only daughter, Devayani, was standing by her father. She liked the Brahmin youth and requested her father, Sukracharya, to accept him as a pupil. Sukracharya agreed and Kancha started staying with him. The demons did not approve of this and they suspected that the gods would learn the Sanjeevani mantra from Sukracharya and then it will be impossible for them to win a victory over them. Therefore, when Kancha had been to the forest for bringing darba, a kind of grass, the demons killed him. In the evening, when Kancha did not return home, Devayani requested her father to bring him home soon. Sukra, by his institution, knew that he was dead, so he recited Sanjeevani mantra and brought him to life. Kacha then came home. Once again, when Kacha has been to the forest, the demons killed him and pieces of his body were thrown in all directions. Devayani again showed anxiety for Kasha. Sukra again recited Sanjeevani mantra and brought him to life. As Devayani was his only daughter and Sukracharya had great affection for her, the demons now contrived to kill Kancha on Ekadasi fast day. They then mixed his flesh in wine and offered it to Shukracharya for drinking. For the third time, when Chacha was missing, Devayani wept and requested him to bring him to life. Sukracharya realized that Kacha was not seen anywhere but he was in his belly. He told Devayani that Kacha was in his belly and if he is taken out, he himself would die. Devayani said, "You are bringing life of all people and saying that you would die. How is this? Kacha is my soul. If he does not come back, I will give up my life." Sukracharya, besides myself, none else knows Sanjeevani mantra. There is a condition that this mantra should not be divulged to anyone. If it is heard by 6 years, 3 persons, it will lose its effect. This is a problem with me. Devayani said, "Teach me the mantra. I shall recite it and make you alive." Sukracharya, the Shastras prohibit telling a mantra to a woman. Devayani, who was greatly dejected, said, "Then you may live with your mantra happily. I will give up my life." Saying so, she fell on the ground senseless. Sukracharya brought her to consciousness and gave her the Sanjeevani mantra. While he was reciting the mantra, Kancha, who was in Shukra's belly, also heard it. Shukra recited the mantra and Kancha came out of his body, tearing his belly. Consequently, Sukracharya fell dead. Then Devayani recited the mantra third time and Sukracharya became alive. Thus Kacha heard the mantra thrice and made it by heart. Now Kacha folded his hands and said to Sukracharya, I have studied at your house so far. The demons do not allow me to live here peacefully. Kindly, therefore, allow me to go home now. Devayani interrupted. I have made you alive 3 times. I love you. You should marry me, Kasha. Being the daughter of my guru, you are my sister. You made me alive from time to time, and so you are like my mother. If I marry you, people will blame me. Hearing this, Devayani felt sorry, and at the same time she was enraged. She cursed him. Your learning will be futile. You will forget all that you have learnt. Kacha said, You have cursed me in vain. You will marry a person other than a Brahmin. Your father has taught you Sanjivani mantra against the rules of Shastras. Hence, it will not work now. Saying this, Kacha went away. Seeing that Kacha had returned, Indra and other gods were delighted. Sri Guru said, For a woman, service of her husband is the principal mantra. She should obey him and observe Vrat, etc. with his consent only. Chandragat Simantini. The young wife then requested Sri Guru to suggest some vrat. Sri Guru, I will tell you a vrat by which you, Saubhagya, will be perpetual and your husband will get prosperity. That vrat was told by Sud to rishis in the former days. In this vrat, you have to worship Sri Shiva every Monday, observe fast in that day, and keep control over your senses. This vrat can be observed by married women having husband, kumaris, unmarried girls, widows, young and old, persons of both sexes. Charitra Varma was a pious king in former times. He had a daughter named Simantini, who was beautiful and good natured. One astrologer has said that all the stars in her horoscope was good, but she would be a widow at the age of 14. The king and the others were extremely pained to hear this. Once Maitrayani, wife of Yadnyankalva, came to the king. Simantini requested her, Kindly tell me a means by which my Saubhagya will be perpetual. Maitrayani then told her to observe Monday Vrat and said, By observance of this Vrat, your desires will be fulfilled and you will get all prosperity. Simantini therefore began to observe this Vrat devotedly. Simantini was married to Chandragat, son of Indrasen, the famous Nal family, which with due festivities. Chandragat stayed at Chitrayarma for some days. Once he went to Kalindi Yamuna river with some friends. They were travelling in a ferry boat. All of a sudden, the boat sank in the river. Even after diligent search, no trace for Chandragan was found. Simantini told, and her parents were greatly shocked to know this. Indrasen and his wife were deeply aggrieved. He lost interest in the affairs of his kingdom. Taking this opportunity, his enemies usurped the throne and put Indrasen and his wife in jail. Simantini resolved to observe Sat as per religious rule of a devoted wife. But as the dead body of her husband was not found, she could not observe the Sati rite as per Shastras, so she was prevented from observance of Sati. Shrimantini continued her Monday fast and worship of Sri Shiva. When Chandragan was drowned, he was taken by the Nagkanyas to Vasuki in Patal, in a beautiful city with buildings glittering with precious stones. The gate of the city was golden, and all the persons in it were like serpents. Takshak, the king with 1,000 hoods, was sitting on a bright stone throne. Chandragan was brought before him. Taksha inquired about him with affection and assured him about his safety and asked him to live there happily. After some days, Chandragan requested Taksha, I am the only son of my parents. I am recently married and my wife Simantini is only 14 years of age. My parents, wife and mother and father-in-law must be mourning deeply for me. So kindly arrange to send me to them very soon. Taksha gave him a nectar to drink and offered him costly clothes, ornaments and precious stones. He also gave him a swift horse and a Nagakumar to accompany him. They instantly appeared on the bank of Kalindi, where the accident happened. Being Monday, Simantini also had come with a female attendants for bath. It was the very place where Chandragan had drowned. Looking at him, Simantini said to her attendants, Who is this celestial person coming out of water? I remember to have seen him before. Please inquire Chandragan looked at Simantini and began to think, she appears like my dear wife, but how is it that she has to Mangalsutra around her neck and Kungum on her forehead? He descended from the horse, came near Simantini and inquired about her with affection. Simantini was ashamed to see him come near. She told her attendants to narrate her account. The attendants told him 3 years before her husband was drowned here in this river. She is continuing her Monday Vrat in grief and told being Monday and today being Monday she has come here for bath. Her husband's kingdom has been usurped by his enemies and they have put her mother and father-in-law in jail. Simantini then asked, may I know who you are, God or Gandharva? Why are you inquiring about me? She recollected the face of her husband and began to mourn. Seeing her dejected, Chandragan held her hand in affection and told in her ears in a low voice, you need not mourn. Your husband will meet you on the third day, but do not disclose this to anybody. He rode the horse and went away with Nakumar to see his parents. When he reached the outskirts of the city, the Nakumar entered the city and told the then ruler, Chandragan has returned from the battle and with an assurance of assistance from Takshak, reinstalled Indrasen on the throne with honor, otherwise you are doomed. The ruler was alarmed. He released Indrasen from jail and seated him on the throne with honor. Indrasen embarrassed Chandragan with affection. A message of joy was sent to Chitravarma, who with Srimantini and others were greatly rejoiced to hear the news. Indrasen started with his paraphernalia to meet Chitravarma ceremoniously. Again, a ceremony like wedding was celebrated and Chandragan and Simantini met each other. Chandragan offered the ornaments, precious stones, fruits of Kalpataru extra brought from Takshak to Simantini. She attained all his glory due to observing Monday Vrat with great devotion. As advised by Sri Guru, the young couple started to observing Monday Vrat. Their parents also came there, bowed to Sri Guru and were glad to see the good health of the couple by the grace of Sri Guru. They gave him much in charity. Then they all returned to their place. The couple later on had some issues. They used to come to see Sri Guru every year and had all prosperity.